Are you wondering if your two-stroke has low compression? Here are 7 of the most common signs that I've seen when I discover that one of my bikes has low compression. Having one of them isn't a guarantee that it's low compression, but the more you have, the more likely it is low on compression. First symptom is it's harder to start. Now, this is when it takes 5 or 10 or more kicks to get it started. This is because when it's low on compression, it's running richer. So it might be easier to start when it's cold, but once it's hot, it takes longer to start. And if you hold the throttle wide open, it's easier to start, then it might be low on compression. Symptom number 2 is if it's really easy to kick over. Now, two-strokes, they're generally pretty easy to kick over compared to a high-performance 4-stroke engine like a YZ450F. But if you've had your two-stroke for a while and you notice that it takes about half of the force, whether you're kicking it down or pushing it down with your hand, then that's a good sign that it's low on compression, because the more compression it has, the harder it is to kick down and spin the engine over. Symptom number 3 is if it's low on power. Now, even if you have it tuned so that the air-fuel ratio, the jetting is spot on, it's probably going to be lacking power. And when it's low on compression, this is generally most noticeable in the low RPM or mid-range torque. So it's not going to have that same off-idle snap. It's not going to whop, whop, whop. It might be noticeably softer when you whack the throttle. Symptom number 4 is if it has a bog or hesitation. This is because the air-fuel ratio is running richer, meaning that it's getting too much gas and not enough air, or it's not properly igniting and combusting the fuel. So when you try and accelerate, it coughs and spits or sputters or bogs. So you get inconsistent throttle response. And if your bike is bogging and you're not sure if it's rich or lean, you should check out this video right here. Symptom number 5 is if your two-stroke doesn't idle very well. So even if you have the idle screw cranked in all the way, it barely idles and then it shuts off after a few seconds. That's one sign that it might have low compression. And you can try leaning out the air screw, which I have a free guide that shows you how to do it in just a few minutes. The link is in the description below. And if you try leaning it out and it gets better but it still just won't run, then it might not have good compression. Symptom number 6 is if the spark plug is fouling every 5 hours or less. Spark plugs should last a long time. Like, if you're not getting 50 hours on a spark plug, then you're either abusing your bike or something's off, like low compression. So if you have to replace the plug after like every couple of rides and it's getting worse, that's a good sign that it's low compression. Symptom number 7 is when you're down 15% or more on compression. This is when you're doing an actual compression test. And it's best to do this when the bike is new or the engine is fresh and broken in, because not all compression testers are extremely accurate. So you're basically comparing the same bike with the same tester. Let's say with a new engine, you got 150 PSI, so 15% down of that. So 10% is 15 plus 5%, that's 22.5. So if it's like 125 PSI or less when it was 150 when new, well, that means it's low on compression and it's probably due for a rebuild. Which leads to the next question: why is it low on compression? Well, if you want to learn that, you should subscribe or click this video right here if it's already out, where I show you all the top reasons why two-strokes lose compression.